Speaking of machines need oil. Not necessarily krill oil, but we need krill oil.
B+
If you didn't know already,
we'll
Jocko,
give it to you.
Jocko has supplements. Good news.
I just took my Jocko krill oil this morning. Good stuff.
Me too. Good. Always. Every day. Don't forget. Can't slack on that. Thanks for bringing me some krill oil in New York too, by the way.
Yeah, I think you still owe me a bottle for that.
Yeah, no problem. I know a guy. His name is Jocko, and the krill oil is called Jocko Super Krill and Joint Warfare, by the way, which is another joint supplement. Maintain the physical capabilities of your body. I said don't forget to take it, and don't run out, by the way. I ran out before. But if you're running out, there is a subscription option.
By request.
By request, yeah. You get it, every month?
You can get it every month or every 2 weeks. This was cool, though, because the indicator was when people order krill oil, Joint Warfare, guess what they do? They order more.
Yeah.
And then they order more, and so then the requests were, can we just put it on subscription? So
is there I just take 3 of them, 3 of each, boom. But I'd never read how much should I be taking, because it's a little bit more strong, right? More.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I take. I take 3 of each in the morning, and I take 3 of each at night.
So you're
I know.
Full on. That's good, and that's fine. But what is the recommended?
You're
deal?
also talking to the guy that orders the 40-ounce steak too.
More is better.
Yeah, after a 48-hour fast or some
I would say depending on your weight, but I'd say 2 and 2. Take 2 of each in the morning, 2 of each at night, and also you can
4
do
a
this.
day. Okay.
Yeah, you can also do this. You can also see where you're at, right?
Yeah.
What it feels like when you haven't been taking. You're like, ugh.
Yeah.
So then up the dose. That's what I did, and I've been real confident with where I'm at.
Yeah, me too. 3 and 3 for me. Not twice. One time. 3 and 3. Boom. Morning.
I got to get on the subscription though. That's good. I like that option because I run out and then it takes days to.
Yeah, that's what sucks. Is it takes 3 days, right? 3 days. You're like, I haven't been taking it, and then you got to get back on it, and it takes another couple days.
It's whack. Yeah. Get the subscription if you're into it.
Well, where can you get that anyways? You like that?
Well, there's more stuff. What? Yeah. If you want to go get it right now, originmain.com. That's where you get it. Also at originmain.com. Also Jocko supplement. It's called Discipline. It's a pre-mission cognitive enhancers. Microdose of caffeine, if you're into it. Just like Jocko white tea.
Leif,
I just sampled the bottle. Just sampled some. It's tasty.
Yeah, see, tasty. Which is,
which
maybe
is rare.
it's... Yeah.
Right.
Again, I know I said it before, but it doesn't seem like you're all focused on taste, because you're not focused on looks.
No.
See what I'm saying?
Not at all.
Yeah, but you like to taste good
win.
stuff. Yeah, here to win
thing.
and make sure stuff tastes good. Apparently, but it is good stuff. I take that one every day too.
When do you take it?
Morning. Now.
Pre-day.
Pre-life. Pre-day,
just
man.
Pre-life.
You know why? The way I see it is there's no caffeine, or there's not huge amounts of caffeine. So it's okay, if I'm gonna
microdose.
Yeah,
I ripped that off from Tim Ferriss.
What microdose?
Because they talk about microdosing LSD and microdosing psycho drugs and whatever.
Sounds cool.
That's not really my thing.
Yeah.
But I'll take a little microdose of caffeine. 15 milligrams.
Sure. But
give you a little glimpse into the spirit world.
I don't think it'll do it. Well, the LSD might, yes, for sure.
The 20 rep squats will do it.
Oh,
that's why the 20 rep squats will do it.
Yes.
Come and get some of that sometime.
I just figure the cognitive enhancing nutrients. I figure that's a thing. That's not like a drug, right? It's nutrients. So you take it every day. So your brain is just generally more capable. That's just what I figured.
Maybe that's
I don't
why
know.
He's answering all these good questions. They got the discipline in him.
Maybe.
The neurons are firing.
I've been on it.
That's why I got those stripes.
Yeah.
19% increase in performance.
Dang, thanks for and the rash guards do that, by the way. Also, anyway, get them at originmain.com. Also at originmain.com is where you get your ghee, straight up. You have Origin ghee?
I do have an Origin ghee, and they're awesome. I get comments on it all the time. They're great ghees. They're super lightweight, but they're super strong, and yeah, definitely my favorite ghee. I'm looking to get another one.
Mine too, and made in America, by the way. Brian emailed me yesterday.
You might think that's the best thing about Origin ghees. that it's just made in America, but then it's not, because you get the gi and you realize that it's awesome.
Yeah, because if it was made in America and then you were like claustrophobic or something.
Rolling gi the other night. I was rolling in the deaf gi.
Sure. Yeah.
The interesting thing, we know I'm not a fashion guy, right?
Well,
I mean, clearly I'm not a fashion guy.
Yeah, we know that big time.
Leif can tell. You want to hear stories? You can tell Leif tell stories about my fashion escapades.
Your 1987 tapered jeans, and Danner combat boots.
Hey, that's how I roll. But when you put on the deaf gi, everyone says something.
Yeah,
why is that? It's just because it looks, because it's not flashy.
Yeah.
It just says discipline equals freedom, and then it says get after it
on the back.
That's every time I walk by people, when I'd walk by, then I'd hear them going, get after it. Like,
yeah. And you know what? Pete is like that though.
What?
He has like an element of fashion in his stuff.
No, I know. I got to put him in check on that. Him and I have been going back and forth a little bit. I'm like, hey, you got to put that in check.
Yeah.
You want to, because he made some spats.
Oh, yes, spats.
Which is an approved term now.
Yes.
Leif.
Compression pants.
Tights is what Superman would call them.
Spandex.
But anyways, he made some that work.
Is that like jeggings?
No, that's way too far. They're jeans, but they're like, I know this because my daughter has some, and it's it's like, what is it?
You got teenage girls, you don't know what jeggings are? Come on.
Yeah.
They're like leggings/jeans.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Pete has more fashion sense because he's got that whole design thing going on.
Yeah.
Like, he's a designer.
Yeah,
right?
He's a creative.
I know you're listening, Pete. We know you're all designing stuff up there. Me, I'm like, make it black.
Yeah.
What can we add to it? More black?
Hey, what kind of shape do you want in the waistline? Or Jock's like, I don't know about that kind of stuff.
No,
but Pete's like, oh, don't worry, I got it.
Yeah.
And that's why.
Until he designed the multicolored spats.
Well, that's just taking in a different direction.
I have to put myself in check here. Because I realize that is beyond my domain of competency there. Yes. That is way beyond my domain of competency. So if you want to get those spats, go for it.
Dang it.
But to Pete's credit, guess what they have now?
Black
spats.
There you go.
If you need them, you can get them.
Boom. But even the other gis though, people, before I got the deaf one, people would be like, "Ooh, that's a nice gi."
Well, what's really interesting is when you see the weave.
Yeah.
The weave is what makes it
gorilla weave.
Yeah, but there's like this little pattern in the weave. And actually, one of the first ones I actually held was yours, Leif, because you've had that Origin gi for a long time.
Yeah.
Because you asked me a long time ago before I was even with Origin. You're like, hey, what kind of gi should I? So go get a damn Origin gi.
Yeah, you're like, this
made in America.
Awesome company. You were telling me about it, and
you went and got one.
I went and bought one. It's good.
And I was like, oh damn, this thing is nice. But yeah, there's a little pattern. Oh, all right, cool.
Yeah.
We get it. Sorry.
But I'm just saying, even though you don't care about the fashion, Pete will sneak it in there just for like the perfect amount of fashion.
I got to watch out for Pete.
Subtle fashion. It's good. Keep it up, Pete, I think. Also, some rash guards there, all made in America, and some other stuff. Check it out. If you like something, get something. OriginMain.com is the website. Also, onit.com/Jocko. Okay, Onit. This is where I get my kettlebells. Kettlebells?
I like kettlebells.
Yeah. So I got the whole set, primal bells, all that stuff. Also, maces and other workout stuff. If you want to switch it up, you don't want to do a boring workout anymore, or you're bored with your workout, switch it up. Onit.com/Jocko. Check out the workout gear. It's good. Get something. Also, when you buy Extreme Ownership, Way the Warrior Kid, or any of the books Jocko may or may not review on this podcast, don't worry. I organize all those books. I made a shirt too, by the way. It's a whole nother story. I'll go into that later. But I organize all the books by episode, by the way. Get them through there. Good way to support. It'll take you to Amazon, get your book, get whatever else you're getting, and carry on.
Lawnmower. I've noticed that lately. A lot of lawnmowers. People buying lawnmowers. Ready for spring.
Yeah.
Through the Amazon click-through.
Yeah. I think I'd say
good way to support.
Can you buy a driving lawnmower? Because when I think lawnmower, I think driving.
On Amazon, you probably can.
Probably,
you can.
John Deere. Something like this. I bought a leaf blower, and I'm not joking.
There you go.
My daughter plays with it. It's one of those rechargeable ones.
Can you get an 84 millimeter recoilless rifle, Carl Gustav?
No, I don't think so.
No, you got to go somewhere else.
That's a shame. That is a damn shame.
Yeah. One of my buddies was asking me the other day. He was going to go shooting, and he's a British guy, and his name is English Peter. And
sure.
And English Pizza. You know English Pizza. He's like, I'm going to go shooting, mate.
Do you call him English Peter?
That's his nickname. English Pizza. Petah. English Pizza. And English Pizza was going to go shooting with someone. And he says, hey, I'm going to go. He says, hey, I'm going to go shooting. Would you like to come? Maybe we could work on some cover and move. and I was like, I can't make it. And then I saw him later, and I said, oh, how was the shooting? He says, oh, we didn't get to go, mate. We couldn't go. And I said, oh, that's a bummer. I said, you're going to like it. And he goes, oh, I really want to shoot. It's like the RPG. And I was like, that's going to be a little tricky to get. So I don't know. We can check Amazon for RPG.
Backblast area clear.
Yeah, let's get some.
Yeah, Amazon. I don't think they provide that kind of stuff. But if they do, hey, whatever. When you buy your book, buy one of those. Cool. Also, subscribe to the podcast. If you haven't already. Stitcher, iTunes, Google Play, Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
You know Spotify?
I do.
There's some more. Subscribe. You know what? There's a bunch of other podcast apps, and I don't even know what their names are. I need to start tweeting the locations of those. I got to figure them all out.
Yeah, well, and
there's a bunch.
Yeah, and they're coming out with new ones.
Yeah.
It's like this. Just you'd think we kind of said before. You'd think, iTunes, right? That's where podcasts are. But podcast is a podcast.
Yeah. Hey, what's interesting, and I haven't seen this factually, or I don't know where the number came from. So, like 2 years ago, 18% of America was listening to podcasts. 18. Like when we started, that's the number I got. I was like researching, how many people are listening to it? Right now, so it's been 2 years, 48% of America is listening to podcasts. And that right there is explosive growth. That's pretty amazing because it's a great medium.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like kind of like having a conversation. Well, I guess it depends on the podcast, but yeah, I agree fully. So yeah, subscribe if you want. Good way to support. Also, YouTube. Subscribe to YouTube if you want. If you're interested in the video version of this podcast, we have our guest, Leif Babin. The guest episodes, that's when people watch them typically. Mostly. Yeah. Well, I don't want, not even really mostly. I'm just saying we see more people watching the episodes with guests. I want to see what they look like, apparently.
They do.
Yeah. Nonetheless, if you're interested in that, and excerpts, if you don't want to necessarily watch the whole podcast, you watch just like little clips of it or whatever, you want to share them with your friends, whatever, we provide that as well. Also, enhanced excerpts. That's what we're calling them now. Okay. Some of that too. Anyway, various video types on there.
And I've seen you've been a little bit more. You're throwing more punches now. You're letting your hands go a little bit
more. Yeah.
Let them go more.
Yeah, we're gonna keep that going. So yeah, there'll be more clips to choose from. You want to listen or watch, whatever. Yeah. So yeah, subscribe. Good way to support. Also, Jocko has a store. It's called Jocko Store, of course. JockoStore.com. That's where you can get Discipline Equals Freedom shirts, Victory MMA shirts, the one Jocko wears every day while we do the podcast and otherwise. And, get out. Anyway, there's shirts on there. There's podcast shirts, Jocko gear shirts, also rash guards, also hoodies, also hats.
Did you mention a new shirt? Is there a new shirt?
I mentioned a new shirt. Okay.
Is it out? Because I haven't approved or seen anything lately.
No, you'll approve. It's
unapproved.
Good. It's good.
Unauthorized.
Right? Yeah, it's in limbo right now, but we're confident.
It's like the patches. He secretly wants you to do it.
Yeah. No, this one he's going to openly. I think you'll approve because there's no colored shirts.
Okay, good.
Yet.
Approved.
And then, actually it's called Back to the Book.
Oh.
No surprise.
Yeah,
we talked about it before.
I've said that before.
But I think it's coming along. There's a few layers on there. And, I'm going to go ahead and offer it up.
Yeah, you can't release it until there's enough layers.
Yes. No, yeah. Layerless shirts are unapproved.
Who has the most? The shirt that I designed is the most layered shirt. Is that correct?
Yes, I think quantity of layers.
That's good. You submitted quite easily there.
Yeah, it's true. The truth. You have the, what do you call it? The gift of truth, or what was it?
I don't know.
When they're like, hey, what if our competition is gossiping about us? You have the gift of truth.
They have the big weapon.
Yeah, the weapon of truth.
The high ground.
Yeah, so you got numbers on your site. Nonetheless, JockoStore.com, that's where you can get all the cool stuff. Check it out. If you want something, get something. Also, Psychological Warfare. If you don't know what that is, it's an album with tracks, Jocko tracks. When you run into those moments of weakness in your campaign against weakness.
Speaking of which, so I'm getting in my car. I've got thousands of songs on my iTunes.
Hell yeah.
I get in my car. How I have my Bluetooth on and I realize it, but it just automatically synced up to my truck. So I jump on my truck, and I didn't realize the radio was at kind of a high volume. Apparently, I think my kids were probably screaming in the back seat, so I'm playing like some kid tunes. But I get in there. And all of a sudden it's like Jocko's voice. I get it. I'm not paying attention, backing up, and it's like,
it's kind of
where does discipline come from? Yeah. And of all the random, thousands of songs that I have on my iTunes, like that comes up. I was like, what are the odds? And it was actually something I needed to hear at that moment, and to remind me to get back on the path. So
there you go.
That is something that's extremely helpful.
Perfect.
The universe.
The universe aligns.
The universe aligns.
You can thank Echo Charles for that.
And
because Echo Charles originally said to me, like, "Hey, what do you do here?" And I answered him some question. It was like,
when I skip workouts.
Yeah, what do you? He's like, well, how do you not skip workouts? And I was like, And he's like, bro, we need to record that and put it out so people can listen to it. And he's like, and you should answer the rest of them. You should be like, what? How do you get out of bed? So I was just like, all right, ask me the questions. And that's where it came from, Echo Charles.
Yeah, a little additional thing where, you know how I don't know if you've run into this, where you're like, I'm confused, or I don't have the answer for this thing, so I'm gonna ask Jocko what does he think? Right as you're asking him, you're like, oh, I know what he's gonna say already, right? So this one, I was like, oh, I know what this guy's gonna say right now. He's just gonna say, stop being weak, or something like that. So it's more like, I get it, stop being weak, okay, but there's a little bit more to that. Like, what do you say? Like, what do you think, or whatever, So I'm like, all right, yeah, we're going to record that. And these Jocko tracks, they have it for anything, not just skipping workouts, for procrastination, getting up early, all this stuff. So it's kind of like, even if your volume's not turned up, it's kind of like Jocko's actually telling you, like, how to not skip the workout. It's good.
It's encouragement.
Yeah, I would say.
You know what's
more
funny is how come people are always like, oh, you should make a thing of you yelling at me to get out of bed.
Yeah.
I'm not
Here's
a big
the thing,
yeller.
that would work, but it would only work like a few times. After a while, it's kind of like, oh, all right. Yeah. Like, cool.
Shut him up.
Recording of Jocko yelling. But if you're, how like you're talking like, so like it's kind of like you're explaining, practically, like, this is what's going on, this is what you kind of think.
It's enough a reminder of like, hey, get back on the path.
There you go.
Do it.
There you go.
But yeah, good one. Get that one on iTunes. Basically anywhere where they sell MP3s. Yeah.
It's available.
Psychological
via
warfare.
MP3s.
Good way to support.
Also, when you're on Amazon, you can get Jocko White Tea. Now, there's some good things and bad things about Jocko White Tea. The bad things is you got to mix it up with hot water. That can take a little extra time. The good things is once you drink about a half a cup of white tea, this is what we're finding now. When you drink about a half a cup of white tea, you are then able to deadlift 8,000 pounds. A lot of people were wondering how much you had to drink. And the answer is you can drink a half a cup and you're there. So you can get Jocko White Tea, and it's also legal, which a lot of people are trying to get it outlawed right now by the Athletic Commission and the Olympics. They don't want people breaking all the records and everything. So they're trying to just ban it. But get it while you can, right? Get it while you can before it gets banned.
Yep.
Before it gets banned, and then you're just done. Also, some books, the books that I read on the podcast for sure. There's also a book called, a lot of the books that I read on the podcast are for adults, clearly. A lot of them are you need a mature audience. But kids also need to know how to get on the path. Am I right? You got kids. Kids need to know how to get on the path. How are they going to get on the path? Well, number one, they can get the book Way of the Warrior Kid. And they can get on the path with that. And now there's another book coming out. It's Way of the Warrior Kid 2 sequel.
The sequel.
Could it be
Bold.
a Jaws 2 fail? There's always that chance.
There's that chance.
If I would have listened to my publisher. Yeah. Because what do they want to do? They want you to churn out.
Right.
Hey, you got a little hit going here.
Ride the
Let's
wave.
get another one. Let's ride the wave. Right?
Yeah.
And by the way, let us help you shape, where we think this could go. Oh, so you just want to take it down that path? No, we're not going down that path. Life's hard.
Yep.
Mark's going to face some more struggles. And he does. Luckily, he's got an Uncle Jake. Comes and help him out. Way of the Warrior Kid, Mark's Mission. You can pre-order it right now. It comes out April 24th is the date that it comes out. You can get that. Also, if you're an adult and you want to get on the path, stay on the path, be on the path, move down the path, you can get a book called Discipline Equals Freedom Field Manual, which Echo apparently knows all about field manuals.
My favorite kind of manual.
Yeah, favorite kind of manuals. This is going to help you stay on the path. That's what it's going to do. Not only what you should think about in a section called Thoughts, but also the actions you should take if you want to proceed to get stronger, faster, smarter, and all around better. And if you want the audio version, don't look for it on Audible because it's not there. This is an album also with tracks, and it's available in MP3 format from Amazon Music, from Google Play, from other MP3 platforms. And actually, Leif, why don't you talk a little bit about, I don't know, a couple books we wrote, a little company we got, maybe a little event that we're doing?
First and foremost, if you want to dive deeper into the leadership principles that we've been talking about and referencing, get Extreme Ownership. That's we have people ask us like, hey, where did you make mistakes in your career? We wrote a whole book about them. That's what Extreme Ownership is about. The mistakes we learn on the battlefield, the things that happen to us, what we learn from them, and then how that principle applies to business and life. So go get that book on Amazon or anywhere that you can buy books. And if you're like me and you're super busy and you don't have a lot of time to read, then you can get the Audible book. The audio book, it's on Audible, it's on anywhere, and get that version.
And we read it, by the way.
We read it.
Yeah.
James Earl Jones wasn't available,
Yeah.
so apparently
Texas Batman was, though.
we had to read it. I didn't realize I was the Texas Batman until people were listening to this book.
Yeah, you are.
That's where that was born on social media.
I hear good things about the audio version, though. Straight up.
There's little surprises in the audio version.
What?
That once again we didn't listen to our publisher. Our publisher was like, "Well, that's kind of weird to put that." What would you rather hear for gunfire? Me going pop 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 pop, or would you rather hear gunfire? What would you rather hear for an explosion? Leif going kaboom, or would you rather have an explosion? What would you rather have for the call to prayer? Leif talking about the call to prayer coming because it can be pretty eerie in those situations, or would you rather actually hear it? So there's. What would you call that? Audio theater?
Sure. You make it into
Would you call
like
it that? Yeah,
Sure,
audio
I would
theater.
call it that.
Okay.
Yeah, they did a great job with that with the audiobook. So get that. That's certainly an option as well. And if you have a company or you want to work with us, Echelon Front. That's our company, Echelon Front. And if you're looking to implement these leadership programs into your team, learn from us, learn those same principles that we talk about, then that's what we do at Echelon Front. Is we come out and work with your team. We come out and work with your team and get these principles applied to your particular challenges so that you can lead and win on your battlefield. And that's just that what Echelon Front is our company. It's Jocko, it's me, it's Dave Burke, it's JP Donnell, guys that you know from this podcast, and a whole team of folks. As Jocko talked about, the tank, where we talk about these leadership problems, we solve those problems, and we help you lead and win. And that's awesome. We love that. So if you're interested in working with us, go to echelonfront.com. And of course, the muster, which we talked about. This is the ultimate leadership conference, and we've had 4 of these so far. Every single one of them have sold out. Every single one of them sold out. So don't wait. If you were interested in coming, we're only doing 2 this year. We're only doing 2. We had a lot going on for us, and we said we're going to do 2 amazing musters. That's what we're going to focus on. We did 3 last year, but we're only doing 2 this year, and that's in Washington, D.C., May 17th and 18th, and that's in San Francisco, October 17th and 18th. And that's it. If you want to come and be a part of the muster, go to extremeownership.com and get registered, and we'll see you there.
And until the muster, if you want to kind of continue this conversation that we're having right now, you can find us continually conversing on the interwebs, on Twitter, on Instagrammy, and on the Facebook. Leif is at Leif Babin, Echo is at Echo Charles, and I am at Jocko Willink.